Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May the blessings of Allah be on His Messenger, Prophet, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. 4 days ago, a major figure of the African history has disappeared, a great freedom fighter, and for the freedom has left us. I'm here referring to President Sam Nujoma of Namibia. I would request you to stand and observe 1 minute of silence in his memory.
Paix à son âme, je vous remercie.
May his soul rest in peace. Thank you, Excellency. Mr. Mohammed Salim Al-Marzouk, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Chairman of the Executive Council of the African Union, members of the Executive Council, Mr. Executive Secretary of the UN ECA, Madam Deputy Chairperson of the AU Commission, distinguished commissioners, members of the Permanent Representatives Committee, chief executives of the regional economic communities and regional mechanisms, distinguished representatives and special representatives and heads of the AU offices, observers, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, invited guests, dear friends. May I first of all, for the last time, as chairperson of the Commission, to welcome you to the headquarters of your organization in Nelson Mandela Hall, the eternal witness of, to our meetings and our continental diplomacy. To you, my dear brother Mohammed Salim Marzouk, I would like to tell you in particular how much I am delighted to end my term along with you. I will cherish a fond memory of your commitment, your openness, and your constant availability. I would also like to present my sincere gratitude to the Permanent Representatives Committee, in whose meetings I have not always been able to participate, which I certainly regret. Particularly the last one, during which I wanted to say farewell to the members, better late than never. Distinguished ambassadors, I want to say thank you to you all. I congratulate the PRC on the excellent work done, which is reflected in its report, which will be presented shortly. In this regard, I would like to express my warm congratulations to you, Madam Chairperson of the PRC, my dear sister Khadijatu, for your efficiency, your dynamism, and your leadership. With the Permanent Representatives Committee, as you may imagine, the Commission has a beautiful story, and like all the beautiful stories, it is, as a rule, full of passion, liveliness, and mutual enrichment. With the regional economic communities, which are under the new revised protocol, henceforth among us, we should be among them, even if unfortunately it has not always been the case, so be it. I would like to share a brotherly thought of solidarity with them. To the staff, the technical staff, technicians, security, and protocol, who devote themselves days and nights to establish the best working conditions, and beyond them, to all our organs, I express my grateful thanks and all my acknowledgement for their efficient support throughout the years that brought us together in this great adventure. In truth, speaking to you, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, members of the Executive Council, I had Over the last 8 years, during my 2 terms, the feeling of always belonging to the central body of our organization, the Executive Council, this club of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, which I had the honor to chair just before my accession to my current position. For 17 years, I have been successively as Minister of Foreign Affairs of my country and 8 years as the chairperson of the African Union Commission. Besides, I see all my some former colleagues whose hair, like mine, have taken a certain silvery color. Mahmoud Yusuf, Mbela Lejeune, Robert Ducey, I don't know what is his secret, his hair is always black. Jean-Claude Dakoso, Nasser Burita, Mamadou Tangara. I see also somewhere Pierre Mukoko, the head of the reform unit, who were one of our colleagues during that period. How to hide my regret and to see that 6 of our colleagues still cannot take their seat among us because of unconstitutional changes in their countries. Excellencies, honorable ministers, dear friends, together with the constant support of our heads of state, we have done a lot and laid the foundation for more ambitious programs. There is almost no significant field in which we have not worked, endeavored, and sometimes produced results, even if political, economic, and diplomatic adversities have sometimes reduced our productivity and our production. In this, to use an agricultural metaphor. In this area of health, COVID-19 was overcome, as was Ebola and Mpox. Africa CDC is asserting itself as an effective tool. The African Medicines Agency is taking shape. In fact, the African Humanitarian Agency is coming out of its limbo. PANVAC is consolidating itself. Education is modernizing and definitely heads for the future by focusing attention on efforts on innovation and artificial intelligence. The industrial strategy is on the horizon. The African Continental Free Trade Area is getting operationalized despite obstacles. African positions on climate change are being strengthened. Agriculture and the blue economy are gradually taking their natural place in our strategic choices. The infrastructure and energy sector has made significant strides. Almost all the organs of the African Union and all the specialized agencies, and whose list I want to spare you, have been making constant progress, both in terms of their institutional consolidation and in the diversity of the programs and projects implemented. The institutional reform of our organization has made significant progress and continues for positive conclusions. Our international partnerships are widening and open new horizons. Our international credibility and visibility in the global arena have asserted themselves significantly. Detailed reports on all this track record will be presented, I'm sure, at the summit. It is superfluous to encumber you now. Excellency Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, such achievements should not hide our inadequacies, our shortcomings, and our difficulties and the challenges which we continue to face from all sides. Violent conflicts continue to kill on a large scale in Africa. The Sudan and Eastern DRC, that is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, are in all respects the most poignant, the most tragic theaters. The difficult financing of our organization continues to weigh heavily on its effectiveness and independence of decision-making. The revitalization of the Peace Fund and the attainment of its first objective is encouraging. The weakening of African solidarity and the sagging soulmate Pan-Africanism dampens our ardor and reduces the scope and resonance of our redeployment at the continental and international levels. This situation is all the more worrying as at a time when multilateralism, already in a bad shape for some time now, seems to have to face new challenges and blows from across the Atlantic. So we have to pull ourselves up, and we need to do it now, here and now. Excellencies, dear brothers and dear friends, soon a new leadership will be elected in order to contribute to paving its way. I attracted the high attention of all the heads of state of the continent in a writing qualified by a great African president as a fireball to some issues whose solution commands the survival of our organization. I continue to increasingly believe that if we do not quickly grasp the issues of our political architecture, peace, security, and governance, the question of partnerships, the financing of our organization, and the powers of the Commission and its chairperson, it would frankly be a source of concern for the future of our organization. That is the main message that I want to convey in all humility to our next leadership, to which I wish full success. With these words, I would like to say goodbye to you, with my throat choked with emotion and nostalgia already for your conclave, the resumption of my freedom and the joys it gives me at this moment is my most pleasant consolation. 15 March 2025, I will have ended my term and I will not stay maybe one day more. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for these insightful remarks and statement. It is now my great honor to invite His Excellency Claver Gatet, Under Secretary General and Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, to deliver his statement. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency,